All right, good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. Concerned citizen of South Sudan going live. We are back again. I apologize one more time for inconvenience. So finally, we figured it out and we are here. Bishkurkum, kullu shukr. Those in East Africa, in North America, in Australia, tonight or this morning, we will be hosting a daughter of late hero, our Dwang Arop. She's here with us tonight. We'll be talking about very important issues, which has something to do. I show a little earlier here the topic of tonight being a well-informed citizen. What are the responsibility of the government and the citizen? That's the topic that we are going to discuss together tonight, or today, I should say. And welcome one more time. I apologize for inconvenience of what had happened. Now we already fixed the audio and Aware is here and we will move ahead with our discussion tonight. Let me go ahead and bring her to the studio and then we should start. Aware, welcome to Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. I apologize for inconvenience, but finally we figured it out. Yeah. And I apologize to our audience as well, those who tune in, but they were not able to, I cannot hear you, but they were able to hear you and they can hear me at the same time. So one more time, welcome to Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. I am glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Great. So Aware, as you can see below the screen here, the topic that we are discussing tonight, or today, I should say, because, you know, this thing used to be morning, but now we are doing it at this particular time because we want to engage people back home so they can participate, be part of the discussion that we do here every time. Being a well-informed citizen, what are the responsibility of the government and the citizen? This is the topic that we are going to discuss with you and our audience. I am going to have several questions here, and doing this. And then after that, if we have some other people to come and add their perspective as well, they will be highly welcome. First of all, I really, really appreciate you for coming on. Not so many people, you know, particular women, they don't like to be in the spotlight. Women of South Sudan, they don't like to be in the spotlight. But you know what? Change cannot happen if it's just only one particular gender is always, you know, talking and advocating and doing this. It is a combination of all community, and the society is women and men and children and youth and all this. It is a combined. So I really appreciate you. Many people don't know your father. You know, many South Sudanese young, they don't know your father. Your father is the late hero. It was the general and the SPLM, okay, who fought for nearly 22 years, you know, to liberate our beautiful homeland, South Sudan. So, Aware, I want you to introduce yourself to our viewers tonight, and then we move on with our discussion. Go ahead.
Thank you, Brother Jonkor. Thanks for having me. The audience and people who are watching, I am blessed and honored to be on the show with Brother Jonkor. Uh, my name is Aware Dwangarub. I'm from South Sudan. Uh, it's a very, very viable, topic that we're going, to discuss today. Uh, and I'm very pleased, with Brother Jonko is always, coming up with good ideas, to discuss on social media and diaspora. And this is the way forward where we all come together as citizens of South Sudan from all different areas and from all different, political affiliations. All we want is the interest of South Sudan. So in any country, there is a government and there is a citizen, and these two
Correct.
they work together. Can you hear me? Am I loud?
Yeah, I hear you very well. Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
And they work together for the interests of that country. So the government has the responsibilities and duties, and also the citizen has also responsibilities and duties to that country. So tonight we are going to touch base on some of the issues that in our country. Our country is going through a difficult time right now, where we are faced, with many issues such as corruption, nepotism, lack of accountability, political conflicts, and hard time or journey to transitional government. So I'm going to share my thoughts, along with other people that will come on board later, and we're going to talk on some of the issues in our country. And I'm pleased, to be on and honored, to be on one of the most, viable show in diaspora concerned citizens of South Sudan. So that's a little bit of introduction about what we're going, to talk about today. And I wish that we'll come up and with the fruitful ideas, something that we will learn from to help our country.
Aware, thank you so much. That's really wonderful. This introduction of you, enlightening a lot of audience here to stay and listen to you tonight. So, as I said from the beginning, a lot of things that have been done in our country without involvement of the citizen, things have been done closed door, even big projects that actually are the concern of the citizen of South Sudan. Recently, we have seen, the visiting of President of Egypt, Al Sisi, went to Juba, and actually a lot of things that have been done behind closed door without involving the citizen. And also, I have a news that actually the expert delegation of Egyptian, they are coming next week. They are going to go to Juba, and they are going to redig the Jonglei Canal, which is going to affect millions of South Sudanese. Something that should be happen behind closed door in the dark. People of South Sudan should be involved, and they can know exactly what the president and the government entirely is doing.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, because for the sake of being in the leadership, they can do whatever they wanted to do. So now, Aware, thank you so much one more time, for being courageous to come to our show. As I said from the beginning, a lot of women, they don't want to participate, they don't want to talk, they don't want to do this, but change will not come if we are not all collective together, doing this together. So now, if I might ask you one of the questions here. As a daughter, okay, of the late hero, Drongarop, I want to ask you a very direct question. What do you think went wrong with the SPLM as a ruling party after we gained our independence? Unfortunately, it looked like glitch with the internet. I hope Aware you can come back, and then we can continue. Probably we'll come back, and then we'll move on from here. I hope to see you back. Then continue with the question. So let me go ahead and play here. There's a little bit of music while we are waiting for her to come. Yes. One of the brothers was writing here. He said, actually, the song that I played today, the singer of that song, actually, he already had problem with authorities in Juba. Why would he sing that? Yes, nepotism. If you don't have, no mind that happen, Sudan, you cannot get a job. If your uncle is not there, your brother-in-law is not there, and whoever have to give you a recommendation, say, oh, he can get this. That's what the meaning of the song. I really, really appreciate that singer, Malong Deng, good, for doing this wonderful job. I don't like when people are singing president, vice president, individual names, but rather you sing, on the beauty of the country and what happened. So, Aware, welcome back. I do see that, and you are here. And I hope if there's another device that open, you may turn off that device.
Can you
So,
hear me?
we don't, yeah, I hear you. But if
Okay.
someone is, if there is any device around you there is on, just turn it off so we don't have to have any issues with the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Turn me
Thank,
off.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you for coming back. And actually, you put on very good light so we can hear you clearly now. You can see you clearly as well. So my question, Aware, was, what do you think went wrong with the SPLM party as a ruling party in South Sudan after we gained independence? As a daughter of the late hero, Dong Arop, who fought for justice, liberty, and prosperity. What do you think went wrong with the SPLM party and the leadership? Go ahead.
Thank you. That's a good question. I am a fan of SPLM party, and I'm grateful, for the people who fought, and brought us independence in South Sudan. I'm still supporting this party, and I believe, in political, differences and political affiliation that we all have in South Sudan. That's the nature of politics. So SPLM party fought and brought us what we take for granted today as a country. However, the party has lost, the momentum and what we fought for 21 years in the liberation movement. The momentum was the force. The momentum was the force that we fought for justice, liberty, and prosperity. These mentions items that I mentioned, liberty, justice, prosperity, that we fought for 21 years, we are not, leaving them as we speak today in the country. Another factor that led to what went wrong with the SPLM party is our president, Salva Kiir Mayar, and I really, have big respect for this man that spent most of his life, fighting for the struggle, fighting for the people of South Sudan for 21 years. But our president failed, to hold people accountable to their actions, to their behaviors, and we have seen the lack of accountability in the country. We saw how corruption, how nepotism, and how fraud are, at higher rates or higher, in a higher scalings in the country. So this one of the thing that I always say, and I will not shy away or will not, be fearful to tell our president that he has failed to hold the people to their actions, to their behaviors, and this actually led to the birth of corruption, nepotism, frauds, and all the bad things that are happening right now in our country. Accountability in any country or in any government is very crucial. And why is accountability is important? It's because it's eliminate the time and effort we spend in distracting activities and unproductive behavior, trying to cover up the corruption and all this stuff. So when you make people accountable for their actions, you are actually effectively teaching them to value their work. So lack of accountability in the SPLM led to all these issues that we are facing today in the country. So I hope I answered, the question. Maybe we'll come back and and go over it again
Yeah,
later.
I see. Yes, accountability is a huge thing. Nepotism, lack of transparency, because we are all aware that within the SPLM party, the leadership actually uh, refuse to democratize the party itself. That's where the problem is started in the country. We
Yeah.
are all aware that when we voted for referendum, it was, a secret ballot.
Hmm.
But SPLM as a party, actually, they failed to exercise that very secretive, right.
Hmm.
And in the state, actually, in the meeting that they held, the
Hmm.
president was saying that, oh, actually, we should not do what we did with the referendum by exercising secret, by voting to someone secretly, behind, uh, that closed door. But instead, he said that we need to raise hands. That tell you something. There's something actually they were not ready for democracy even within the SPLM party. So thank you so much, Aware, for answering this question.
Hmm.
And I wanted to move on. You mentioned justice. You mentioned transparency. You mentioned the nepotism, and also you did talk about accountability.
Yeah.
Your father fought for the liberation struggle for a very long time, and he died. Okay,
Yeah.
he died as a hero, a son of the country. He fought for the values, marginalization, to have justice. People of South Sudan can be treated like any other people, to have clean water, to have road, education. But today, those who are in the government are the ones that are taking their children outside. They are the ones that are taking their kids to Kenya, to Zimbabwe, to China, to UK, and they have even forgotten those who fought along them. Some of them are still alive, and some of them are dead, like your father. Now, if your father is happened to be alive today, what do you think would be his message to his colleagues who have forgotten the value that they have been fighting for? What do you think would be the message of your father to them?
My late father, Elia Duang Arop, was a person who loved, the country, loved the South Sudanese to the point that, he forgot about his own interests.
Mm,
He believed in a collective interest, and that's the people of South Sudan to have an independent state.
mm,
So he was one of Sano pioneers, and he died believing in justice, liberty, equality, and prosperity.
mm,
He wanted South Sudan to have that self-determination, where
mm,
we all have our own country, where all have equal rights,
mm,
equal uh, 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 opportunities.
mm,
That's the belief of my late father. When he died, he passed it. He passed this momentum of freedom, of
mm,
equality, of justice. He passed it on to the late Dr. John Garang,
mm,
and subsequently he passed it, uh, to our president Salva Kiir, and I
mm,
meant Dr. John Garang, passed that momentum,
mm,
to our president. When I look at the things and how things are going right now
mm,
in our country, and look back to where my father used to talk to us about how we wanted, a free country where we all live, equally.
mm,
I don't see that in the country. I don't see that. So if he was alive, if
mhm,
my father was alive today, he's a man that was true to himself, a man that never is scared to say the right or to say or do the right thing.
mm,
He would have, told President Salva Kiir
mm,
that you have lost the direction of the country, the direction to the liberty, the direction to the justice, the direction, to the prosperity of the people of South Sudan.
mm,
And I believe and know my father very well. If he was alive today, he would have, not given up on Salva Kiir to regenerate, that consciousness of us being equal, us being free, us being uh, have that prosperity in our own country. So I think that's what my father would have did or said, to the president of the South Sudan. If
Uh,
what
Aware, one more time, I really, really appreciate you. Like I said from the beginning, for your courageous, for being here, and bravery to speak. Not every woman can do that. We have seen, there is a lot of women of South Sudan. Uh, some of them, they wanted to speak, but when they see that they got bullied, they retreat back. And some of them actually, they surrender, to ideas that as women, they can just, do anything. And big chunk of them, a lot of them, big bunch of them, actually, I would say, they are actually by the ideas, things are going bad, but they are coop up with it, right? As a daughter of a hero, as a mother, okay, as a sister, what is your message to your other sisters who are so complicit about what's happening in our country? And rather, tonight, with your bravery, you are talking here in this very humble forum, concerned citizen of South Sudan. Tomorrow, they will be saying a lot of bad words about you. And they will be saying that, oh, because you mentioned the name Salva Kiir Mayardit, you mentioned they don't differentiate between the government and the party and the country and the community. And you and I, we are coming from the same community. Several hours from now, some no-brainers, they will go after you and they will go after me because they don't differentiate. And they will start saying that, oh, when you mention name of President Salva Kiir Mayardit, it's like you attack their gods, What is your message to them? Those women who are so complicit to extend that they know what is the fact, they know what can be said, what is truth, but they just try to to be deaf. They don't want to hear it, and they don't want people to talk about the facts and the realities. What is your message to them?
Thank you for the question.
Mm.
First of all, I wanted to say that I am a daughter of a man that died believing in girls. My dad died believing that there is no difference between a boy and a girl, and he gave us that idea of there is no difference. We are not to be defined by what we have between our legs. We are to be defined of what we have in our mind and what we can offer.
Correct.
That's the concept of my father. So saying that I am a woman and I'm living in a society where women are oppressed, where women are being pushed, to stay in the kitchen. But I am one of those women that are fighting, for women to be having, space in every aspect of the government or in the country. So I understand what are you saying, that some women have, been used like a scapegoat. And don't forget, Brother Jonkor, that women contributed a lot and fought alongside, men in the liberation. They did a lot. And when I look at the situation of the women in the country and how the government, our government, is tackling the issues affecting the women, I get upset. I get upset. Why? Because our women, they fought, they contributed, and they deserve to be treated as anyone in the country. So, yes, when we women, when we are tough, when a woman is tough, that's for example, when a woman is tough, they call her a bitch. And excuse my language, and brother.
No problem.
But when a man is assertive, they call him tough. So we are, fighting to have a space in a society that men is dominated. So I'm not shy. I'm not, shy, and I'm not scared, to stand up and speak up, my rights. So being used as a scapegoat by some political, officials in the government to attack our, or to turn us against each other so we cannot speak the truth, that's not right. Because we have right to sit with men and decide the fate of our country. We have right to sit with men to decide when, where, this direction of the country is going. So my message, to women, and I'm pleased and happy to have lots of women now in the government, having big positions. That's really a good, step forward for the women to come and work together with men in the country so this country can go forward. Also, women are suffering, especially, with the crisis that happened twice in our country. We are the most, to suffer the conditions that we are in right now. Let's say, for example, education, because, men died during the liberation, leaving a lot of widows, with children. These women are not educated. They have children. And because our government failed to provide programs for these women, now these women are suffering and they're going through a lot, trying, to raise up their children. That's a problem. And our government doesn't provide supportive programs. So these women, even though they are not educated, which are, I'm not judging here, is because it's a problem of South Sudan. That these women, they can work in a factory, they can work somewhere else where they can feed or they can support their families. These opportunities and these programs are not in place. That's where that will go back to the responsibility of the government. It's the responsibility of the government to provide works, to provide support for people like widows. Another aspect that I didn't like in South Sudan is that these women, they have children, they have families, and because there is no job in South Sudan, the prostitution now is very open in South Sudan. And what is upsetting and what is make this story very, very pathetical is that the men who have money, the government officials are encouraging prostitution because these women, they don't have anything in place. They don't have a choice other than to practice the prostitution to feed their children. They don't have choice. And as a woman, as a mother, you got to do what you got to do to make your children live. So we have issues. Another thing is also women. They're still dying today in South Sudan giving birth because the government failed to provide the health centers in South Sudan. Our women are dying every day while giving birth. These are all responsibilities of the government. So we have issues. We have issues in South Sudan. So when we are being used as scapegoat to turn against each other, to turn, or to single out, somebody who is speaking the truth, we need to wake up, women. We need to sit side by side with men and decide the fate of our country. Our voices, they need to be, on the decision of where is this country is going. So I'm not seeing a lot of women coming, to talk. I want them to speak up. Women in Kenya, they have, played their role. Women in Ethiopia, they have, or in Egypt, they are rising. They are taking their positions to rise up and work with men. And that's a society that, will prosper. When we come men and women working together, that's when you see, the productive work. So my message to these women, we are not, enemies to one another. We are not enemies. We need, to look what is best for us, what is best for our children, because we are the foundation, we are the backbone of any society, and we want to rise and speak up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aware, for that message. That's very important. I have a follow-up question in that regard. Talking about the services, you mentioned the widow. The widow are the one backing now. The orphan, I can even go and, to talk about honoring those who die in war, whether the war of liberation or the war that has been created in 2013. We don't even have a national cemetery that actually we can honor and we can say, oh, those who fought for the country, we can bury them here with the dignity. Everybody bury their own loved one in their house, in their home. We are no longer just, bunch of tribe, living in in contentment. We are the republic. It shouldn't be that way. Now, talking about that services delivering. You live in Canada. I live in the United States. Many South Sudanese, including women, they live in these various countries, whether in Australia, in the United States, and in Canada, in Finland, in Europe, and all this thing. The
Yeah.
same, very the same people. I don't know. I want you to help me out, and I want you to help our viewers out. Very the same people, South Sudanese sometimes, whether the women or the men, the same people that are protecting or defending the corruption and the lack of services in the country are the same people are enjoying the services, whether in Canada, they get the child care, they get assistance from the government. I don't know what they call that. They don't call it services in Canada.
Yeah, they call services. Yeah.
Okay, I believe they call it services in the United States too. When you are a low income family, the government assisting you. In South Sudan, we have oil that sell out on the international market, and we get a lot of money. And this money don't reach ordinary people. There are orphan, there is widow, there is even Shab, they don't get their salary. So I want you to help our viewers tonight and those who don't understand actually. They live in Canada, like I said, they live in Australia, they live in the United States, they live in Europe, and they are getting government program. Are the same people when I and you and other people here talk and say, oh, we need road, we need hospital, we need a school, we need this in our country for the vulnerable one. And instead, a government official taking their children outside with the money of the country and educate their kid outside. We need the same thing that we have here. It's not necessarily to be really the same, but at least can be a basic. Like in Canada, your child can go to school. Your Canada can in Canada your child can go to health facility, can be treated. These are government program, are the government services. What is your message to those who are saying that no? Actually, these are not government services. Because the other day I hear one of the brother and sister saying that the flood is not it's not the job of the government, or if there the wildfire is not work of the government. I don't know what does they think. What would be the work of the government? At the same time, here they are receiving assistance, and they are coming from the Canadian government, from the United States government, from Australian government. So how can we help, or what can you say to them to make them understand?
Oh, okay, thank you. First of all, the government that we have in South Sudan is the citizen that was, it was elected by the people. So it's the government of the people. And when the government is elected, as I said, we go back, to the topic that the government has responsibilities. What are the responsibilities that the government have towards, the citizens? So, for example, you said about, the social services that we have in diaspora. They were not, they didn't come out like, for nothing. Government always assess the situation when the problem arises, when the problem, comes up. Government assess the situation and intervene. That's called intervention. So when that's intervention, it would bring, the program to tackle that issue. And that's why we have all these services. Like, let's say, people with low income, because, people with low income, their income is not enough to provide them with basic, necessities or basic needs. So government has to have program in place to support these families so they can live, and meet, their needs. It's the same. So it's the responsibility of the government. Let's say for the flooding that happened, it was a natural crisis. If it happens, it's the responsibility of the government to allocate, the fund and help these people. It happened across the country, and I have
evacuate them to a safer place, even.
Exactly. So it's a responsibility of the government. And if the government is not, assessing or intervening in the issues of the citizens, how can we call that a government? How can we call that we are, protected? How can we call that that we are under a government that is protecting us? These are the issues that government has to step in. So I don't know who was saying that, but floods in South Sudan, that's the responsibility of the government to come up and allocate the fund to help the people, evacuate them. I've seen, women, in water, some kids. this is a disaster that need
Really
government intervention, that need intervention from the government. So I support those who cried out for the government to step in and do the right thing. Corruption, as you mentioned, it's in the country. We need to talk about it. It's our government. And I always say, if I'm talking about the issues or things that government is doing, in a way that is not right, I have to speak up. For that government, in order for that government to fix the problem and be the good government, is for us to speak up. It's for us, to have that transparency where we talk directly to the government, where we connect to the government and say, hey, you know what, this is not right. This is not true. This has to be done. That's how, the government, fix and improve, the services for the people. So I believe it's a responsibility.
And if they are not willing to do it, if they don't have ability to do it, leave it for someone else who have that mind to do it.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So government has duties, has obligation towards the citizen. It's not just the government for individuals, it's the government for the people. And if the government for the people, then it has to work for the people. So I hope I answered that. And I am really, really, upset. It's not that I am a rebel, as people, when you speak bad about the government, they say you are a rebel. It's not. Even rebels, they want good, for the country. We are all, South Sudanese, and we have to come together. So I am a government supporter, but there is no way I'm going to sit and watch, wrongs and things that are not being done in the right way and just keep silent. I will tell that government, if it's my government, I'll have an obligation to ask that government to do the right thing.
Thank you. And I bet, like I said, a little earlier, that actually there are some no-brainers. Hours and hours from now, they will come out tomorrow and they will declare that you are a rebel, simply, and they will declare that you are against the government, you are against President Kiir, you are against. Even they will call you, even you are against our own community, because they called me before that I am anti-Dinka and I am a Dinka. They will do that. They will call me that I am whatever, confused, or they will call all kind of names. But
I don't know, brother. But if you don't tell your government, if you don't talk to your government that this is wrong and this is right, who will tell the government?
Good question.
Who will tell the government? And how government would know that things are not going right? It's us telling our government. It's us talking to our government. So I don't mind being called a rebel, but as I said, Salva Kiir Mayardit, the reason I support the SPLM is because the momentum for liberty, justice, and prosperity, it was my dad, dream. It was my dad hope. And that's why I'm supporting them. But there is no way I'm going to sit while wrong things are happening around me and not saying anything. I will say this is wrong until the government comes back to their senses and do the right thing for the citizen of South Sudan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aware. And now we're done with that part, and we talk about services. And then you mentioned very well. And sometimes, I fail to understand when a brother live in Canada or in Australia, in the United States or in Europe, and is getting government program. They are getting childcare, they are getting medical insurance. If they get sick, they get treated. And if they don't have money, the government give them money, they get food stamp. They get all these kind of government program because they are poor, because they don't have money.
Yeah.
At the same times, when we are advocating that actually, please, we want you to build hospital in Juba, Sudan. We want you to construct road. We want school for the orphan, for any child in South Sudan. The same people, they say, no. Our government is doing good. They are, don't do this and don't do that. I call that selfish. You are getting them here, and you don't want those people, your relative, to get them there. I call them, they are just simply selfish. Now, Aware, with the service, I want to ask you a question about the security. What security mean to you?
Okay, good question. When we come, to security, I believe it's a right to all members of society to live their life without a threat, okay, or without at least a minimum threat.
Yes.
It requires the state or the government take rightful measures to protect, the citizen. My question is, are we safe in South Sudan? Do we feel safe right now in South Sudan? The police, which is the institution that serve and protect the people, is corrupted. I can say that it's corrupted. The emergency services in the country, there is none. Like for say, if you pass out right now on the street, there is no ambulance, there is no quick services, to save lives. People die every day for something that if the emergency services are there, somebody's life would be safe. We don't have that. So security or insecurity in South Sudan is a major, major problem. It's a major problem. When you don't feel safe in your own country, and I have seen a lot of people going to South Sudan and yapping about South Sudan is safe. Yes, so somehow it's safe, but across the country, the reason Juba is populated right now is because people are not feeling safe in other areas, in the villages. They cannot even do their agriculture work because of insecurity. Juba is populated because of that. So it's the insecurity is really, really bad in our country, and we need the government, our government, to make us feel safe in our own country. So there is a lot to be done when it comes to insecurity in South Sudan. There is a lot to be done when it comes people sleeping quiet at night in their houses. There is a lot to be done for people to go to work feeling safe. So I'm concerned about security in South Sudan.
Thank you, Aware. Security mean a lot. You and I living here in the Western Hemisphere, you live in Canada, I live in the United States. If I am on the road, somebody attack me, police will be there for me. We are not even asking for this, big thing. But people of South Sudan are asking for minimum, like you said. There is intercommunal, conflicts. From here they come, they attack here, and yet some people they say, oh, actually this problem, it has been there for a very long time. They used to fight. Oh, Nuer used to fight with the Dinka, Dinka fight with the Nuer, and Agar used to fight. Really? Yes, you can say that, but we were tribes, not having, recognized government. We were not a republic, right? We were a region under some Sudan, old Sudan. They did not care. But now you are a country, and you have sitting government. You have someone in charge. Yet we can say, oh, these people, they used to fight. Security, as you said, without security, we cannot prosper. Security is number one for human being. Number one is security. Because if you are secure, you will be able, like you said, to go and cultivate and farm and do other activities without fear. But in our country today, there's no security. You will be intimidated, even though you are working just, somebody doing his own normal thing. You get intimidated from the authorities. The one that's supposed to be securing you, they become a security threat to you. These are simple things. So thank you for answering that question. Our people need to understand this because we care more and they have to care about the security, because security should be the priority number one.
Another thing I wanted to add, Brother Mayol,
go ahead.
It's also in our country, as you mentioned something about intimidation. Our people, when they took arms to fight for justice, liberty, and prosperity, it's for us to have that freedom. Freedom to speak, freedom to walk, freedom to do whatever you want in your own country. The government officials, most of them, when you are in a position of the government, you take that position as you own the country. So men in uniform, men and women who have position in the government, they look at the citizen as something unvaluable. Our citizens are suffering in the hands of the government officials, in the police, in the army, everywhere. Our citizens. But when we come back, to the reality, that power, the power that government have, is people's power. So let's say the president Salva Kiir is a legitimate president, and he was elected by the people. People gave him power. People gave him that authority. It was invested upon him.
Actually, so it was elected as an autonomy president.
Yeah.
Not the president of the republic. Go ahead. Yeah.
Exactly. So his job in a democratic country, like they say, we are a democratic party. Country, to protect, to give, to take charge, of the responsibilities and duties of a government towards the citizen. Our citizen, they give that power to the government, but the government is not doing anything, to our citizens. And the problem is, our citizens are being intimidated. They're scared. You cannot speak. And we go back to the security. Now, if you speak in Juba saying that this thing is wrong in the government of the president of Salva Kiir, you will be put in jail. We have that constitutional right to freedom of speech. Why is it taken away from the citizen? Citizens have right to talk to the government when things are not being done in a way that citizens wanted, because people gave the government the power to protect, to serve. And we wanted to see that protection. We wanted to see that services that we required from the government. And if they're not done, then citizens have right to ask the government. So I see, intimidation, I see exploitation, I see people taking, the power to their hands, look at the citizens like they are nothing. They are not nothing. They have power. Citizens have power. So it's really, sad. It's really sad to see the situation of our citizens that are suffering. Their money, the public money is being, used for individual interests, and they are still, quiet. It's really, upsets me when I see the suffering of our people. When we have resources, when everybody in South Sudan, if all tribes of South Sudan, they died for this country to be a country today. Correct. And they deserve, to enjoy the fruit of what their parents fought for.
Yeah.
And if they are not enjoying that fruit of what they fought for and what their parents died for, I am upset. It upsets me.
Aware, one more time. Thank you so much. My other question to you: change will not come to South Sudan or the services, because we have not seen services since 2005 until up to date. And yet some people say, oh, progress has been made. Well, progress is when the children of generals and children of widow and children, of those, poor people are going together along to their school.
Yeah.
You see that in Canada. If someone is in big position in Canada, or someone working in 7-Eleven or working in a just convenience store, they are going to the same school. When you don't see that, when some are trying to create a class, they are entitled of money. Their children, they go outside and get a good education. And those in the country, they don't have a school. That tells you something, Now, the question that I wanted to ask you here: how change can come in our own community? When I'm talking about own community, I'm talking about the community. And I have been criticized most of the time when I say this. People are always silent. And when you say that, oh, you're silent, they said, oh, well, there's something that's happening. That's why we're silent. Well, until the lion learn how to write, every story will glorify the hunter. That's what you know. But when you are silent, there is nothing that can be fixed, and you are not talking about it, and you are not advocating, and you are not saying something, and you are not talking to your uncle or your aunt or whatever. Nothing is going to get fixed unless you agree with what's happening. I want your message to our own community, who are very, very complicit, who see, oh, the president actually belongs to us, and that's fine. Whether we have a school, whether we have hospital or we have road, it is okay. How that can be okay? What is your message to them? Aware.
Okay. Complicity is when we choose to be silent when wrong things happen on our watch and we chose to be silent. That's complicity. Or when we choose, to cover up or support illegal activities in our, and we know it's wrong, but we try to cover up or support it so we can benefit from it. That's complicity. And this complicity in South Sudan has destroyed a lot of things that, the citizen of South Sudan would have benefit from it. So the corruption, let's say, for example, we have individuals that stole the money, the public money. And we don't like to talk about it. We know they took the money of the people. That's the public money. And you have no right to use the public money. And it goes back to accountability that our president failed to do. And we don't like to talk about it. These people, if we speak up and say this is wrong, you can't do that, and hold them accountable, our country would be in a better place today. Okay. So for those who go against talking about the wrong things, and they chose, to speak up and are being attacked and intimidated, I will tell them, keep speaking the truth. We have a moral obligation, and we have moral responsibility to speak up by doing the right thing. And the right thing is to speak up. To speak up that, we have corrupted, officials in the government, that we have corrupted individuals that are stealing, the public money, that the government has to hold these people accountable, has to bring that money back. Is our moral responsibility to tell the president of our country that our money has been stolen and you're not doing anything about it. So we have moral responsibility to speak up and say the truth. And by the way, we are being called by the God to speak the truth and stand up for injustice. There are a lot of injustice that are happening in South Sudan, and we chose to be silent. We chose not to speak about it. And as you said, President Salva Kiir, he's from Dinka, he's from Awan, he's from Warab, but above the all, he's the president of South Sudan. Okay, and we don't support him because he's our son. No, we support him because he's our president, and he's doing right. We can appreciate him and say thank you. We did, like, he actually he was persistent. He was persistent, during the referendum, got us, the independent. We're appreciative of that, of doing that. But now things are not going well. The direction of the country is not going to the benefit of the citizen. And if we chose to be quiet and be silent about it, then we are not helping the president. We are destroying the country. We are destroying the country. So we have to be rightful. We have to be truthful. We have to have that connection and communication with our government so things can be done right. That's my message, to the people of South Sudan, to the citizen. We have the moral responsibility to do the right thing. And the right thing is to speak up the truth.
Aware, thank you so much. Yes, we have a lot of people, they are fishing in the dirty water. And I remember when I interviewed Uncle Morwell here, and he said something really interesting in Dinka, that actually those, they are gaining weight. Of course, here in the West, gaining weight is not, but some others there, gaining weight is a good thing to them, even though in the worst, condition that people are living in, they are fishing in a very dirty water. And I like that message, that people, they need to realize what they're doing is not right. And above all, is speaking the truth. That's what can change the situation. Being complicit is part of committing a crime itself, because the person is doing wrong thing and you are not saying that that's wrong. well, you are part of that because you agree that's why you decide to be silent, you know.
Yeah,
So
and that's the reason, brother Junko. That's the reason I'm speaking up. My voice, because in the end, I know Salva Kiir is from Warap. I'm from Warap. I want to be proud, a proud, citizen of Warap. When Salva Kiir leaves, his term, to be proud of him that my brother or my son or my father did well, did this and that. But now I'm seeing, wrong things. And I've chose, to be defending him, not to tell him this is wrong, not correcting, the things that are being done wrong. I'm not doing any good to him. And at the end, it will come back, to Bar Ghazal, that akeki by right, akeki kuma koilo. It will come back, to Kajwarap, and it will come back, to me.
It's already
so I need
already. Yeah.
So no, if we speak, and if Salva Kiir, listen, he still have a chance, to change the direction of this country. He still have a chance, to do the right thing. I believe in him. So it's my job. I want to do my part. So when things fall apart, I will tell the president that I have tried my best and I told you this and this and that. But then, then just covering up for him. I don't cover up. My dad was a man that speaks, his mind. He speaks the truth, and he doesn't, choose, to cover up for nobody. And he was a man that fought for collective interest. He never, fought for himself or does good thing for himself only. He's always, a collective, interest. And what is killing us in South Sudan right now, these people that are around Salva Kiir Mayardit, they're all individual interests, fighting for their own interests, trying, to benefit themselves, not the citizen. And that's the problem. These people, they need to be told to get away, from Salva Kiir. Salva Kiir need to push them away. Bring the people that, see the benefit of the citizen, see the benefit, the interest of the people, not, the individuals. So that's what I want to add.
Well, Aware, I really will appreciate you if you want to send any last message to people, especially to young women, to those. I'm still with the complicity, those who just wanted to cover up, but I do see people are start talking, but that's not enough. And those officials in the government, they do contrary thing. They pay those who are die hard supporting them with the wrong thing to come and counter. If we are talking here about the clean water, the road, and the hospital and security in the country, they go and pay those who actually Greek call them the idiots. They don't care, what they care is themselves. As long as I'm getting checked, okay, let them die, let them go to hell. So your message, because this country, South Sudan, is more than enough for all of us. It's more than enough, even to them. Those who think if Kir goes today, they are not going to get anything. They will. Okay, people of South Sudan are very forgiving. They will, and they will give a chance. So I want you to send that message and send your message to those who are so quiet and they know it's wrong and it is wrong, but they chose to just be silent. You don't know where they are. They want to support this. They want to go there, but they just talk behind the scene. Oh, well, this thing is wrong, and they don't come to the light. So that should be your last message. And actually, I will open up later to the people, and then they can come and and weigh their perspective. Well, please go ahead and share the live video. Go ahead.
Okay. Before I say my last message, I wanted to bring up a very, very important point. We can't touch base on transparency, and I want to talk about it, and I want to go deeper and talk about it. Transparency in any government is very, very, very important. It's it is in a situation. It is a situation where the government activities or institutional activities are being done in an open, way. So citizens, they know what his government is doing. Citizens know, let's for example, the money that the government is getting from the oil. Citizens of South Sudan, they don't know now where is this money goes.
Yeah.
That's a lack of transparency. There is no relationship between the citizen and the government. decisions are being made by the government without consultation
Yeah.
of the
You put
citizen.
them in dark. Mhm.
Citizens are not informed with anything the government is doing on their behalf. This is a lack of transparency, and that's why you see this connection between the people and the government. And that's why you see the government officials, when they take position in the government, they take upon themselves to serve themselves, because citizens are not connected with the government to see what is going on, what are they doing with our money, what are they deciding on our behalf. So this transparency is very, very important in any government, and it's lacked in this current government. So I wanted, to stress out that our government need to go back to an open communication with the citizen, where citizens know what are they doing, what are they doing with their money, what are they doing on their behalf, what are they deciding. And good example is Jongole Canal. Jongole Canal right now, it's going on in Jongole. And I remember when I
Yeah.
was a kid in
Yeah. And,
1980s.
and Egyptian are coming next week, actually. A lot of
Yeah.
people of South Sudan don't know this. And there are things
So
that done behind closed door. And
exactly.
yeah, go
I
ahead. Go ahead. I want you to let you finish. Go ahead. Mhm.
I remember in 1980s, uh, people of South Sudan refused to have that canal built in Jonglei. We don't know why, but there must be a reason. If the government right now decided, to build that canal, Jonglei Canal, it's an obligation from the government to consult the citizen of South Sudan and tell them why are they building this canal? What are the benefits? What are the risks? What are they getting from this canal? This is the right of the citizen of South Sudan to be informed with this canal. So this is a good example of the lack of transparency with our government. You know, so my message, to the people of South Sudan, we need, to get up and speak up with our government. We need the change is not going to come you sitting down and not saying anything. Change is not going to come you sitting down doing propaganda to cover up for the government. It's not going to help us. The truth is, we need to speak, we need to connect with the government, we need to connect with our politicians, we need to have the right to, to select, to elect them and hold them accountable. If they're not doing the job, they need to be held accountable for their action and behaviors. So, and then my message, is going to the president, Salva Kiir. Salva Kiir, as I said, he's one of my favorite, people in South Sudan. The fact that he never rebelled against the movement, I have that respect for that man. But there is no way I'm going to sit here and cover up for him when things are going wrong. There is no way I'm going to sit here and cover for him when he's not listening and bring the right people to serve, our country. There is no way I'm going to sit here and cover up for him when he doesn't come out and see the suffering of our people. My father fought for the people of South Sudan to have freedom, to have equality, to have liberty, and these things must come out because that's what they died for, and that's what they deserve, for the people of South Sudan to have that, opportunity to enjoy the fruit of what these people died for. So I have as the last message to the president of South Sudan, Mr. Salva Kiir Mayar. It is that the future of our children is now in the hands of a bunch of self-serving, money-hungry, boot-licking, power-seeking politics who can be subdued or blackmailed in submission. And it is time for you to wake up, comrade, Mr. President. That's my message. Our future is in the hand of these people. And I will repeat, it's in the hand of a bunch of self-serving, money-hungry, boot-licking, power-seeking politics who can be subdued and blackmailed in submission. And it's time for you, Mr. President, to wake up because we are tired. We are tired. The citizens are tired. You need to get out. See the suffering of people in the street. See, why we I used to defend, this government and say, we are in a new country, but we have what, more than 10 years since we became, independent, and no progress. Why? There's a reason. There is a reason why we are not progressing. So this is my last message, to the president, and I would like, the young people in South Sudan to speak up. You have an obligation and you have moral responsibility to say the truth. Tell the government that we need services. Tell the government we need protection. Tell the government we need security. Tell the government we are not intimidated because we are the people that elect this government. And if it's for the people, then the government must listen to the people. Thank you.
Aware, thank you so much. So phenomenal. Coming in and airing your opinion. This is so important. And again, I really applaud you for your bravery and courageous to come and speak. Don't worry about those little one who will go there and just accuse you like what they do all the time. You know what? We keep moving. We have to do the right thing. Dr. King said, the right time is when we're doing the right thing. And this is what we are doing, and this is what you are doing. Keep yourself high always. Don't look back and do it right. I really, really appreciate you for coming on. You know what? A strong society is a society that has strong women. The women speak up.
Yeah.
And I was inspired by the former lady of the United States in late 60s, Lady Bird. She's the one that made the freeway beautiful. And the same thing that happened in the United States, Canada copy it. You see always when you drive in freeway, they have really nice design along the freeway, the trees and architect, they do arts job. She did that. She called it beautified freeways. So when you drive, you don't drive with stress. You drive, you see, the beautiful, along the road, and then you get, that was her job. And it's because people were giving an opportunity to speak up. So thank you so much for coming on today and airing this, and continue to motivate and inspire other women as well so they can come and speak. So thank you so much and have a lovely night.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate that.
So with that, I will love to open the forum to all of you who wanted to come and weigh in their perspective. I see several people, they said, actually call me. This forum, actually, I am not going to call you, but what I would do, I will post the link. And what you would do, you will go ahead and click that link. And I believe so you copy the link and you paste it on the Google. It has to be Google. And then from there, it will ask you to log in and all kind of bunch of things. And then it will lead you here. So do it the way I told you. If you want to be on this live video show, you wanted to weigh in your perspective, you wanted to speak, just go ahead and hit the link. And actually I send the link. I put the link down there. Okay, hit that link. I'm going to pin the link now, right now. I pinned it. Hit on the link, and then you will copy it. It will give you the instruction. Copy it, paste it on the Google, and then it should bring you here. Some people, they don't need to do that. Some people, they would click on the link, and the link will bring them here right away. Okay? If you did not download Be Live on the phone, sometimes you will have some difficulties. So with that, I will be open for more people to come and weigh in. I really, really thanks Sister Aware Dongarop for coming on tonight, and having this fruitful and very important discussion. I know we are not going to be intimidated. I say this for a very long time. We will continue to speaking. We have to speak the truth, because the truth, the only truth, will set us free. We don't want to be complicit. We have to tell the truth. We are not looking for any position, but we want people of South Sudan to see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's the most important thing. People have suffered since 2005 up to now. Always those big guys are the one that enriching themselves. That is not the core values that people of South Sudan fought for. They did not fight for a few to come and enrich themselves and loot, and live in hotels. This is not what it is. They fought just they can have transparency, justice, liberty, and so forth. These are the core values. So thank you for the sister come and spoke. It's really an honor to have her tonight. I see you, Ustaz Moses Makir. I am doing wonderful. Good to have you here. concerned citizen of South Sudan, and you can weigh in. I can hear your perspective as well. I do see a what also want to come and weigh in. It's been very,
William,
and it looked like you shave your beard. You have a new look.
it's grown up again, see?
That's okay. That's okay. It's good to see you as well. So, gentlemen, we'll keep floor Moses. Go ahead, and then I will give a quote as well later. Go ahead, Moses.
Well, Mr. Jonkur, thank you very much. I greet you, and I greet my sister, Aware, Nyan Magwangdit. That's really amor for the pair.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to see her talking in the concerned citizen of South Sudan, and this actually encourages me a lot and other people, because the change will start from women. If the women start talking, saying the truth to the people and to the government official, as she has done, I think they will wake up. They will wake up. And as we know, 72% are young people, and those young people, most of them are women. And she has said a lot of great things, and I just want to add 2 points.
Go ahead.
One, you know, Jonkor, we have talked about 4 evils all the time. We always repeat this: the war, civil war that the SPLM has created, so they can continue in power without election, so that men and women can vote and elect their MPs and their government. So they just created war, so nothing can change. And so nobody talk about election. Right now in the states, there are no parliaments at the state level, no commissioners, no governments, and the same things in all states. So the problem is they just want to rule as the big ministers and the president and the group. So the people, the women and the young people are being excluded, and they cannot voice anything. They cannot say anything. Like the new development that is happening, the deal that has been signed, secret deal that the people don't know much about it, between Egypt and Salva Kiir, is going to come up. It's going to come up. There is no secret in J1. There is no secret. We will get the full details soon. So what I'm trying to say here, people have been blocked up because of war, and corruption, the second evil, and mismanagement, and all the bad thing you can say against any irresponsible government are being practiced day and night in Juba, in J1. And I'm really so disappointed to see some of our young girls that are talking against this great thinker, Nyan Magwangdit. She's a thinker. I've seen people insulting her, like Monica something whack is insulting her. This is not a welcome.
Yeah, it's okay.
You can say your opinion, but you don't need to discourage people to come here and just insult people, so that they don't come here and say something against the government that is looting the public money. Look, the way the government look at our people, the SPLM government, they look at the people as property. So they don't see people as citizens. So this is what I need to add. SPLM, they think that the people of South Sudan are just properties. They are not people. Because if we were really people, they would not lead the government, and they will not mismanage the public wealth the way they have done in the last 15 years. So this is what the political scientists and other economists call it the liberation curse. The liberation curse, when the liberators think that they have liberated you, then you have become their property. So anyone, even if you talk with the people, they will ask you, where were you in the army? If Even our young people in my age, in 40s, from Red Army, they still boast better than those who were in Khartoum. They say I was a Red Army, I was in this. That will give me more credit than any South Sudanese that was not in the Red Army. So this mentality of liberational case is in us and is in the leader of SPLM. So they think that we, the people of South Sudan, are their properties. So they don't look at us as citizens. That's why they don't consider people. They don't fear people. They want people to fear them. As I said last time, there is difference between respect and fear. The people fear the leaders of SPLM. They don't respect them. So that's one thing. Until we get a government that look at people as citizens, but not as properties, nothing will change in our social lives. In terms of livelihoods will not be improved, both women and men. Nothing will change economically, politically, because this mindset has to be changed first. And that's why we talk here. We are not against human beings like here or Riyadh. We are criticizing their bad political practices, that they believe that people are properties and they are the people. So that's one point. Second, there's another point called the resources case. When the liberators consider citizens to be properties, they will automatically consider the public resources as their rewards.
Correct.
Because they have liberated the country politically, they are controlling the guns and the money. So the resources that is supposed to be used for social services, for roads, for improving the livelihood of women and young people are being misused. So the resources are being misused for us to kill each other. That is called resources scarce. So the resource, instead of becoming blessing to the people of South Sudan, instead of oil becoming there is the blessing for South Sudan to lift up people from poverty, the resources has become the curse that is fueling the war. And people are refugees, IDPs, and the few psychopaths that are left in the country are only there. Young people, that is 72%, are there as a reserve army for the government. They don't create jobs for young people, young boys, because they want them to be recruited in the army to protect them, to be their bodyguards, to be their drivers. And while their kids are drinking at night, those poor kids will drive them and protect their kids. So they are not thinking of utilizing that resources of oil to build a school, to build roads, to pay salaries on time, and so that everybody can have food on table and clean water, hospital, infrastructure. They don't want this, not because they don't know it. They know it. They know it. The same oil money that has built Dubai can build South Sudan.
Yeah.
So there is no way our oil money cannot build South Sudan. If the oil money has built the Gulf countries. They know it, and that's why they go and fight in Dubai. They know how our dollars can build the country. But they did it intentionally.
Correct.
So they can exploit the young girls in hotels. When you come as a poor person, of course, Arab girl a Jew kafir. Hunger is an infidel. Hunger is an infidel. So they deprive the people. That's the right terminology I could use. The SPLM top leaders deprive the people of their resources intentionally. That's why you see people are not paid salaries. So people who are poor can worship them. They can go to them and beg them, you see, to control the people. So this is why I'm saying that resources case and liberation case can only be solved when the people rise up and move for a popular uprising and say enough is enough. Our resources were not put there by God to be a curse, to fuel war, for us to kill ourselves, to die of hunger when there are billions of dollars in bank accounts. So we should rise up, young people, women should rise up from all tribes and say enough is enough. We don't want resources curse to continue. We don't want war after another war. on the expense of our future. The last point, and I will give a vote and others a chance.
Yeah.
You know, President Kiir and the SPLM government, they have made South Sudanese citizens, the citizen, to regret their past liberation. And they have made South Sudanese citizens to fear their future. And they have made the present to be very difficult, insecure for people to live. So if the so-called our liberators, they made us, the citizens, to hate the past. We South Sudanese now, we have hate the past sacrifice that we have made to liberate ourselves from Jalaba or from Khartoum governments. The people now within the SPLA, the ordinary soldiers, they have regret their past contribution in the 21 years of liberation. And that was not supposed to be the case. They were supposed not to regret their past contribution. But this government of fear has made people to regret their past contribution.
Thank you, Moses. Let me give a chance to Agot, and then if you want to add another thing, and then I will come back as well. So we can, because it looked like it's late here, and he's all the way to New Hampshire, and I believe it's like 3
It's too cold. It's too cold, man.
3 a.m. for him now. So
Almost 4. Almost 4.
And then I will welcome my dear brother, who I believe is Pannom Mario. Welcome to Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah.
جنكور السلام عليك زمن طويل يا
أهلا بك.
أهلا السلام عليك بسلم لي وين دم مريال مش كده؟
No, the Moses يكون وين دم ريال.
Moses
Yeah, good and actual Moses Makir. So
Moses
you
Makir,
go to your point so we can share the time.
Moses Makir. I remember when Jonkor, you know, I haven't been here for a while. You know, I took a time off. As you see now, I'm a young dude. You know, the one Okti, you know, aware. She's spoken very well. You know, she spoke her mind. I don't think that anyone can, you know, blame her on that because you know, Sudan built a school.
Yeah.
If the government is doing bad, people have the right to criticize the government. You know. So she, you know, she is entitled to speak her mind, and actually I appreciate, you know, her because it is good when women are speaking, because we won't change in South Sudan. You know, Sudan could not shackle when people went to war during the liberation struggle. It was people contribution. So if the country become independent, it's supposed to be enjoyed by everybody. Yeah, not the rurals, not Bossidin are enjoying the country. They are buying houses in Uganda or Kenya. They are, you know, riding a big B8 or Midapol, Kalam Farak. Yeah. So the country belongs to Kulu Junubin. If the government is not doing well, we all have to criticize the government until the change comes. What I see, my friend, for the last few years, this government in power is not going to change unless Junubin Kulu, we the people of South Sudan have to unite. Our unity is the only solution to South Sudan. The SPLM party is not the SPLM part of the liberation struggle. This is a different SPLM in power now. Because Salva Kiir as an individual, whether he is a good or bad, is not going to change anything. Because this government has been compromised. And you understand the word compromise. When you've been compromised, everything is finished. So now those who are enjoying this government of South Sudan are not even those who were diehard in the field. This was the one Dr. Jongarang said that they are, you know, eating 3 meals a day. They are staying in the AC, you know, and they have not even heard the sound of bullet. Are the one enjoying the government? Are not enjoying the government?
So when you say we should unite, and then what next? Because now you came to conclusion that actually they are not good. This government is not good, you know. But it has been proven to you, which is a good thing. You have realized now, my brother. What?
No. Listen, I don't want you to take me wrong. I haven't left the supporting the government. I'm still a government supporter, but I can also I can criticize them. You know, and they know this very well. You know, I criticize them and I support them because there is no way you can remove this government. You know, if you remove this government in a way I see the opposition are doing it, you're gonna have a mess. So the solution is the unity of Junubin Kulu. Junubin must unite. And there is an opportunity, now in front of us, the election in 2023. Whether you believe in the election or not, this election is a solution to everybody. So we have to go to the election. We secure
Good.
this.
Are you
let-
going to unite to
Let
support
me
the
finish.
government or
No,
to
no.
change the
Let
government?
me finish. Let me finish, brother Moses.
It's a good question.
Yeah, if we unite together as Genovine, and then we have to go to the election. This is how I perceive it. If we unite, we can lobby to take over a state. If we can secure any state, we secure the state parliament, at least 80% of it.
What guaranteed election? What guaranteed the election? Yeah, what?
We guarantee the election.
What
Genovine, and then the Genovine, we guarantee the election. Okay, if you cannot support the election, what do you have? Riek Machar is now under our arrest. He was one of the most powerful opposition in Sudan. Malonga wanda in the Chunu got to hotel in Nairobi.
How are you guaranteed the election that is not going to be rigged? It's the same kid. It's the same.
It's under agreement.
It's the same
It is
kid
an
that
agreement.
refused. It's the same kid that refused the process of democracy within the SPLM party by saying that you have to raise your hand instead. No. By saying that you have to raise your hand instead of going to secret ballots. So the man, the same Salva Kiir is not going to rig election.
Abaman al-Kalati, that kind of defagi but the agreement. Agreement said that this agreement, you have to 3 years, after 3 years, people have to go to the election.
And
So
they are not representing the people
guarantee.
either.
Well, they will honor that. If they cannot honor it, there will be an end to the government of Salva Kiir Mayardit. The government will be taken out by all means. So Inter Yonkor is that if you refuse the election, what is your option? No one will win war in South Sudan, my brother.
Uprising, that's my option right there.
Uprising is called death sentence. Who's going to uprising? You're going to uprising from America, from Washington, Seattle? That's how you're going to do it? Who's going to do it?
Is it a crime to uprise to go for political uprising?
It is not a crime, but it's impossible in a nation called South Sudan.
Then
impossible.
if it is not a crime, why people?
Why are you undermining South Sudanese people?
Why should people be killed?
You only can do it if you are united, without mentioning a tribe. Now, while we see we have been polarized, people are dividing based on a tribe. Dinka, Nuer, Wakaza. So how are you going to do it? You cannot do it if you are not united.
Thank you.
But listen to me. Like it is a free unity.
Our brother is still waiting too because we need to share.
It's a free unity. It's a free unity between Junubin. I'm going to put side. Like it is a bit fagia. You will be dead on your arrival. So you want people to die? Why don't you go and do it yourself? Into Jonkoda, why don't you go and be a leader of the uprising?
I'll be there.
Even 1 minute you'll be done. In 1 minute.
Listen, how many people die in South Sudan? People die in battlefield. So you think my life is
Jonkor, it is impossible.
Keep quiet, Abgot. Listen to me. Do you think Yana Hayabatai is more than important than Nazal Gai Mudu, the Nuswana Gai Mudu, the children Gai Mudu?
It means you go and be the leader of the uprising.
When you say that, oh, you will be dead. So what if I die? How many people?
And then Amish, why don't go? Amish, be the leader of the uprising. Don't say it in America. In the Gata hamburger, the Google uprising. I don't think uprising is the solution. And not a banana good. I want change. I don't see any change as we speak, but change only will come.
You are confusing us. You cannot say that I'm supporting the government and I'm against the government is not doing right. You are not making sense.
It's called criticism.
You are not making sense. I've asked you a question. You want us to unite, okay, as people of South Sudan. Unite to do what? To support the government that you are supporting?
No, not
to change the government that you are supporting.
No. Unite to distance yourself from tribalism. Because
the problem is not South Sudanese. The problem is the government. The people have no problem.
How are you going to take the government out? Okay, how are you going to take the government out if you're not united? How are you going to take the government out? Tell me, how are you going to take it out?
It is not possible. It is not impossible. Gang, what was your name?
I'm not a guy. I call a Gunu wine, not a guy.
Oh, good. Okay, excuse me. Yeah, sorry for that. It is not impossible. Kiir Mayardit is not stronger than Saddam Hussein, my friend.
So
Kiir Mayardit
is stronger.
Listen to me. Kiir Mayardit is not stronger than any dictator in the world that the world has known. All these dictators, they have come and they have gone. the country would be there, the people would be there. You are telling us there's no one that can take out Kir, which is a big lie. It is a lie. Let me tell you this. The people who has elected Kir are the same people that can go on the street and protest. And Kir will go. Imagine this recent visit of Ethiopia. What the president of Ethiopia said and the prime minister, they told Kir directly that if Egypt attack us, we will destroy Juba. Juba is not powerful. Juba is not powerful. So if people rise up, they can defeat the government within a week. Within a week. We know that because the people that are in national security and the police, they are our brothers and sisters. They are our brothers. They are not going to allow President Kir to kill people, and then they will be watching.
Let me respond to Moses, and then I go Jonko.
And the psychopaths that are protecting President Kir, they have very small number in terms of, if you compare the number of citizens that are suffering within Juba alone, let alone the other states, the majority are suffering, my friend. These people, the crooks and the criminals of Salva Kiir, they will go during the daytime, not the night time.
Moses, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Kiir will go. You need to make your decision. If you want to support Kiir, support him for good. And you can't come here and tell us you want to be a fox. We can think better than this. We have graduated from this thinking long time ago. And I've been in Khartoum, in ANF, dealing with politics long time ago, my friend. So you can't come and tell us here in your comments and hear that I support Kiir.
Yeah.
And when you are against,
you have to make sense here, brother.
You say I don't like Kiir government. And when we're talking about political popular uprising, you doubt you are a Thomas. Yes, you don't need to doubt your power. Okay. I believe the people are the power, not the properties.
Let me respond to Moses.
Really quick, because I want to give a brother a chance, please.
Moses, I didn't say that Salva Kiir is stronger than Saddam Hussein or Gaddafi or any other.
You gave up because leaders talking. You say,
what I'm saying is this. The reason why Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi were taken out, they were not taken out by its own people.
And also Mubarak.
Yes, that's true. They were taken out by the superpowers. And superpowers have the reason to take them out. Lakin في قضية جنوب السودان ما في سبب ودي أمريكا ولا روسيا ولا وين to support جنوبين to take Salva Kiir out.
Who is looking after our refugees? Is it not the UN, the superpowers that you are talking?
Let me finish.
Who is looking after 5 million IDPs and refugees? Is it not the superpowers that are feeding our refugees in Kakuma, in Uganda?
You take my time. You're going to kick me out. You take my time. Let me finish.
Give this brother. I hope it makes sense. I hope Moses.
Listen, who is looking after our refugees in UNIMIS and in Kakuma, in Uganda, and Egypt? Who is the refugees? Who is helping our refugees? It is the superpowers.
Moses, let him finish. We can go.
What I'm saying, I'm not saying that Salva Kiir will not go. That's not what I said. Salva Kiir will go, no matter how long it takes. But what I'm saying is this: is that nene Junubin met wahadna nakun ma baad unashil hay bigule gabale bara bukun saba jamaa kana shil zola bara lakin zanene wahadna ka Junubin unashil gabale bara Salva Kiir bamshi bara ana Salva Kiir yamshi I'm not getting anything from him. I'm not mustafid minu asale shahren wal haja I don't defend the government.
You say that or you would say something else different?
No, my young girl ajama hagay ajama dalal quiz young girl dalal quiz ajama let us to become wise people. جنوب السودان ده بلد يعني بلد بتاع gorillas بلد بتاع ناس مغفلين excuse my language you know.
So do you want us to keep it like that to be a gorilla and rule by jungle
الناس دول أفكارهم أفكار صعبة شوية إذا نحن ما وحنا كجنوبيين بكون صعب كنا نشيل زول برا لكن إذا نحن وحنا بنشيل من انتخابات أنا متأكد أن إحنا كشعب الجنوبي نشيل Salva Kiir برا. Salva Kiir is not an obstacle لكن we جنوبيين we are the obstacle because we refuse to unite. And then we
are not the obstacle. I disagree with you. The Nubian are not the obstacle. Please, please.
So under the Gulaga Jam for Shukran Jazilan for your opportunity. Lakin, please, I want you to make show sometime. Talk about food production. Talk about education. Talk about rule of justice. If Salva Kiir Mayardit can put a program in place, like food production for the next 10 years,
Yeah, Kiir, 2005, 2005, he cannot build a school, he cannot build hospital.
No, I'm just saying.
Listen, he cannot keep security in place. Do you think he's going to do anything?
No, what I'm saying, Jonkor, you have audience. You know, if you can free this program, and I'm target feedback and that's Yakum that Salva Kiir will listen. They will take your initiative. You know, the last one about Egypt, I disagree with Akuma Jino Sudan, Lagar Mosre Majino Sudan. Lana Misr is a threat to us. Misr is killing our people every day. The government of South Sudan is supposed to challenge Egypt at the time of Dr. Sisi or General Sisi, you know, visit South Sudan, because we cannot let it go. Our people are dying in Egypt, killing by the Egyptian, and we have to embrace the Egypt government. No, I disagree with it. I support it. I support it too.
Because Kiir wants to stay in power. That's why he went. Because he lost East Africa. He's no longer friend with Uganda. He's no longer friend with Ethiopia. He's no longer with Kenya. And now he's looking for new alliances who will keep him in power. He is willing to do anything to remain in power.
Jiddan is the wrong relationship. Super is the right one, because
and you support the guy that's doing wrong thing. You see?
Well, the reason I'm supporting him because I'm the SPLM. I support the SPLM ruling party, not Salva Kiir as an individual. I support the party of a million who have perished on the road of freedom. Those who have died, I'm speaking, I'm their voice. That's why I'm with SPLM, not Salva Kiir as an individual, my brother. So
SPLM is no longer a ruling party, you know that, right?
I know, but SPLM will never perish. We must stand. I stand with SPLM until I die on this earth. SPLM is speaking for me. They died for me. They brought the South Sudan for me, and I will never abandon them. You know, that's my position. But Hakuma in the Fakatir, you know, I'm not disagreeing with you on that, you know. So if we want to make a link with Egypt, we have to challenge Egypt about our people killing every day. You know, so it is not good. Ethiopia is our friend forever and forever. Point blank. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. And with that, I want to give my friend, my brother, Pannum, a chance here to weigh in. Pannum Mario, welcome to Concerned Citizen of South Sudan.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
Very well.
Yes, we are hearing you.
Okay. First of all, I want to say thank you for the chance that you have given me. I also want to thank my sister that just spoke a while ago. Just came here to talk about two things. One, you talked about the service delivery and security. My point, I came in, I'm not on one side, but I'm more of supporting the government. Reason is because, you know, we Junubin, we have one problem. We expect ourselves to be at the level of first class or the first world countries. Sorry,
that's not true. That's not true.
So let me tell you why that I think so.
Yeah.
According to what you say,
we are always asking for basic necessity. That's what we are asking. We didn't say that. Oh, we need you know, flour on the floor. We need this. We need high class. We didn't say that. We need basic for vulnerable one. Go ahead.
Okay, you did mention before that, for example, in Canada, that people working in McDonald's, people who are rich, their kids are going to the same schools. I want to say that I believe when you came abroad, I don't know where you are, maybe in Canada or Australia or US. I believe when you came, you started from nothing until where you are right now. And I believe you know how it feels when you're starting from nothing. So, and the same applies to us as South Sudanese or as South Sudan. South Sudan right now is not at the stage whereby we can compare with the world class. So yes, Kiir might not be.
Can you just quit talking about the First World, because we are not making a contrast between South Sudan and the United States of America. We are not doing that. Go ahead.
Okay. The reason why I did mention that is that I'm talking about what you said before. or what most other South Sudanese say, that no roads, no schools, no hospitals. Yes, they are right. And people are talking that, yes, South Sudan is getting a lot of money from oil revenue and other revenues that you all know. The reason why South Sudan is failing to provide these services that we require, the basic one, like the one that you say, the hospitals, the schools, and the roads. For example, if you look at the working class of South Sudan right now, most of these people, they lack what we call ethics. They don't have good ethic, whereby if you're given a job, you do it according to how you are assigned, and you know that you will be accountable if you mess around. So these people, because they lack ethics, what do? When they go in, they go and loot. Salva Kiir himself cannot assign himself to be managing finances. He cannot assign himself to be managing other things. That's one thing. Now, if, for example, you as John Corey, if you go to South Sudan right now, and yes, you want to say that I want to participate in nation building, there are so many ways you can participate. One is that opposition is a way of participation in nation building. If you oppose the government and say that this is not right, and you be brave enough to tell them in front of them, and this is how we are going to correct it. For example, if you want to make sure that Kiir does not stay in power forever, or Kiir ensures that there is equal distribution of power or resources, we can do that through the constitution, by changing constitution. That's one thing. No one is doing that. Whenever people feel that they're not benefiting from Kiir, what they do is that they run to the bush or they pick guns and now start fighting. And those bushes that some of us went to, if you look now, there are people who spent 7 years there, but there was no single road in that 7 years. The same people who have been engaging the government, they have been engaging, making Kiir busy, buying weapons to protect himself, to keep himself into power, or to protect himself actually, are the same people that are saying that you have not provided anything. So if you're not giving me peace of mind, actually you're killing me, or you are coming to attack me, there is no way I can think of doing something substantial. So what I will do is that I will think of a way of retaliating. That's one thing.
Thank you.
But
Can I have a question?
But if you stay within the country and oppose me.
Can I have a question?
Yeah, let me
John
finish.
Cora, I would like to say something if you have time.
No, I will, but I want to ask this brother a question first.
Yeah. If you stay within the country and then you oppose me like what we are doing right now, like Kiir is not doing this, Kiir is not doing this, as you can see that yes, he has realized that he's not doing something. That's why he has now started those road constructions. And I believe that if people keep talking that you're not doing this and you're not doing this, he will listen to the voices of the opposition. When those oppositions are within the country. You see?
Are you okay? That's okay?
Yeah, you can ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
My brother, thank you.
Yeah.
You seem to know something, which is good.
Yeah.
But I fail to understand why you know something and you know what is wrong and what is right, and you still supporting what is wrong. That's part of, because from your talking point, I can tell that you know something, which is good. But saying that you're supporting government and you know that the government failed, you mentioned a very good point. You said that South Sudan, even though you talk about the contrast, and we are not making a contrast between South Sudan and the United States or Canada, we are not doing that. We said basic necessity. We have 15 years since we become, since 2005, we are autonomy, we have enough money, we have a lot of money, until 2011. We can do anything that country can do that time, right? But I want to ask you one question, my brother. How long it take for a baby to talk? How long it take for a baby, to start crawling and start walking and talking and start asking mom, I need milk, I need this, I need. How long it take them? How long it take baby?
So I cannot give the accurate figures.
Okay, no, okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to answer that question anyway.
Yeah.
I know that it take for a baby a few years. It take for a baby, to start smiling and all this, that, up to 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, crawling, and then 2 years, and then baby start talking good, 3 years talking, and 5 years, a baby is going to start saying, hey, I need milk, all these things. 10 years, the baby can go and grab what he needs, he become a child this time. How long since we become like ship independent? Since 2005 is 15 years. Then you think that we cannot just call for ourselves milk? We don't know what is wrong. If this is the fire, I can just not stick my foot to the fire. Don't you think we cannot know what is right and what is true? Salva Kiir cannot know that 15 years. You don't think so?
So
no. And the reason I asked that question, because you said South Sudan is still young and it take time and all this thing, but we have 15 years, brother. We have 15 years. I did not say right away in 2011. We did not oppose Salva Kiir 2011, 2012. We did not oppose. We started opposing Salva Kiir in 2013. One thing I start going in the wrong direction. That's why we start saying that no, this is not what we have been fighting for. Okay, so the idea that South Sudan is a baby is completely ludicrous, and that means actually we don't know what we are doing. When somebody is making wrongs every day, and you say, "Oh, he's a baby, let him go." Well, he will use to that habit, and he used to that habit actually now, and that's why he keep doing it, because people are saying, "You are a baby anyway, do it. You are a baby anyway, loot money. You are a baby anyway." If somebody talk about justice and all this, arrest him, put him in blue house, beat him up, shoot him, and non-gunman. You are a baby anyway. And then they will continue. When you talk about the ethic, and you said that in a society like South Sudan, there is no ethic, somebody giving a job, you don't expect Salva Kiir to come and be a finance and all that. You made a point there. But don't we have enforcement? If Salva Kiir is a supervisor or he's a manager, don't you think that he has that authority for someone who's doing wrong thing to stop that wrong thing? Does Salva Kiir doesn't have that power to allow the judicial to be independent so they can persecute anyone that doing wrong thing? I think it does. But because he wanted to be authoritarian, everything has to be in his hand. That's why the judicial, they don't have power. That's why no enforcement. Anyone can kill, anyone can loot. But because he's the one that have all the authority, if someone get arrested, he will not allow. Where in the world that you will write a letter to a criminal, say, bring the money back? What do you do if you are in charge? If somebody stole money or somebody did something wrong, shot somebody at the road and kill, what would you do? Okay. Would you write a letter to that person, or you will just allow the judicial to take the, just place?
Okay, let me correct you here. You say that Salva Kiir has spent 15 years in power and he has done nothing.
Yes,
subtract 7 years. Subtract 7 years. And in that 7 years, damages were done. So add another 7 years to repair those damages that were done. So, like, Jonko, let us be honest. I told you before that if you come to me now and you want to kill me, I will not stay in my house painting my house. I'll have to go and confront you. There's one thing. I will have to go and confront you. There's one thing that related.
How long it took Juba Numili Road to be built? How long it took?
How long it took what?
How long it took Juba Numili Road to be built?
No, there's your own record.
No, I'm asking that question because you talk about the 7 years to be, subtracted from the total years of 15 years. So that's why I'm asking you how long it took Juba Numili Road to be built.
Yeah. Okay. Secondly,
from 2005, we have money. Don't you think that it wouldn't be easy to build a road from Rang all the way to Juba.
Let me tell you. Okay, let me tell you this. Let me tell you. Before I did mention about ethics.
You did.
When South Sudan got those huge amount of money, or that huge amount of money that it got, do you know where it went? That money disappeared, and it disappeared into the hands of who? Of South Sudanese, and those South Sudanese are not within the country right now. And you expect Kir to build those things that you want him to build.
Please, Jonkor, may I respond, please?
Secondly, now because my time is quite limited, so Kir cannot do anything when money has disappeared. Kir took an initiative to contact the World Bank and other countries that these individuals might have put their money into. But what he was told was that we don't reveal our customers. We cannot do that. That's what they told Kir. You see? So Kir cannot out of nowhere bring you roads from nowhere. See? Secondly, you did mention before that the economy is bad and the economy is this and that. Now, there are few people or say that I heard you mentioning a couple of things about like what is being done in Canada and other countries. If you look at South Sudan now, you know, any government is strong when the citizens are working. Is strong when the citizens are working. So if the government, if the people from that country are not working, like South Sudan, most of the people cannot work because there are few entrepreneurs. Let me say so. There are few people that are running businesses on their own. Everyone is looking after the government. Everyone is looking after the government, and that government itself
That's
cannot.
not correct. That's not correct, my brother.
Yeah.
Why I'm saying that not correct? Because the same government that you're talking about created insecurity. Listen,
let me bring you where insecurity is. Let me bring you where insecurity
if South Sudan was stable,
there
is no war. Listen, there is no war that have been created. South Sudanese, they don't need government in their life. They can farm, they can do tourism, they can do. I don't need to work in government. Do you know that? I don't need to work in government. Because security. Because people believe in his mercy. He wants people to worship him. Right? So, that's why he has security. So don't tell me that because there is no entrepreneurship. Why government is not strong.
You don't know where insecurity is starting, because one, those who rebelled, when they rebelled, they were the first people who caused insecurity. And it is very hard for Kir to go and control someone that is pointing guns at him. So even after the Tribunal, when it was signed, there were still communities that were getting up to go and raid other communities. And it is you, the very South Sudanese who are abroad, that were even contributing money to go and support those who have gone to raid other people. So how do you control such situation? It is you people that are.
I never supported. I want to tell you this,
communities.
Brother. Listen to me.
Kind of.
Listen to me. I never supported.
And people are armed.
You listen.
If people were not armed, yes, it would be possible, like to control that.
Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? I'm saying that I, Jonkor, is speaking to you now. Yes. I never supported any violence in the country. Never.
I didn't say it was Jonkor. I'm just
trying to tell you. I'm just
yes.
But actually, the government is the one that created insecurity. Let us speak true. Let us speak truth. We know it. We know it. Our brother Salva Kiir created this war so he can have 3 years and 3 years and 3 years and mandate and mandate. We know that. We don't want to be complicit. Please. We don't want to be complicit. It's true. Go ahead, Moses, and I will give you another chance.
Jonkor, I think my brother, I think he has a long way to go and understand more about the dynamics of the SPLM and the political process, the corruption, and how much money we get from oil per year, and where does it go? And I would ask my brother to know that South Sudan is not a poor country. We are not poor. We are not trying to compare South Sudan with the US, UK, Australia, but we are saying that the same hand of God that created America and Canada, Australia, is the same hand of God that created South Sudan. God was not stupid. He put the oil in South Sudan. It is us that are abusing our resources. And why do we have to blame the government? My brother, everything in this world rise or fall based on a leader. Everything. So whatever mess that has happened, political mess within South Sudan, the first person that should be asked is the president. So there is no way we can put president as a innocent person when things are happening, when he's making presidential decrees every day, when he's
Yeah,
is
you make it
approving
for
the
a reason.
budget
Yeah.
every year. So there is no way. He's not innocent, my brother. And he's not alone in this. All, whether SPLM-IO or SPLM A to Z, they are all guilty. That's what we are saying. Having said that, when you come to the what you were telling us, that there is issue of ethics, it started from the top. If the top leaders are stealing oil money, I'm not talking from nowhere. I've worked in the government. As you said, we should go back to the country and contribute. I've worked for 3 years. I have prepared the budget of President Kiir for 2 years. I know what is in and out. Kiir does not get his wealth from the budget. He gets his wealth from the unknown barrel of oil that are hidden, that are not included in the budget. So that's the ethics. If you don't tell the people of South Sudan how much quantity of oil are we producing per day as a leader, and you are hiding some percentage of those barrels, send them to Dubai, and people fight each other over that are not included in the budget. And this is the national resources. What ethics are you talking about? So you may not be aware of that, but I know what I'm talking about. So the corruption started from the top, and Kiir was not born corrupted, but he learned it. He learned it, and he is happy, is enjoying it, is rewarding, giving incentive to rebels. And if you go now to pyramids, they call it pyramid in Tomwanjang now. Pyramid Hotel is the best hotel in South Sudan.
Pyramid pay.
Yeah, pyramid pay. You know, they changed the name pyramids to pyramid. The people who rebels, Kiir is giving them a lot of money. Why? Because Kiir is only afraid of rebels.
Life is sweet.
He is not afraid of a citizen like you, citizen like me, or Jonkor, or ordinary citizens, the orphans, the widow. Kiir is not afraid of those citizens who are vulnerable in the country. He is only afraid of Riek Machar and the rebels. That's why he put them in the best hotels. He spent, do you know how much money the Pyramids Hotel got? $4 million US since time Riek came in up to now. Do you know how much schools, how many schools can $4 million US build in just 2 states or 5 states? That's a lot of schools. That's what we are talking about here. So if the president take care of rebels,
I'll give you a chance.
Yes. If the president take care of rebels and put them as a priority, as you said, just to stop them from shooting him, then he's not a leader. He's not a leader. So that's the point I need to say. The second point is this, my brother. We are open for opinion from government, from anyone, from opposition like us, but we are not calling for violence. We believe in united concerned citizens. We believe in peaceful means of changing government. Peaceful means. But these peaceful means have been taken out of the equation, in the political equation of Sudan. The president doesn't want to listen to people who don't have guns. And people have read his mind. That's why people take guns. Young people like you now are generals. We're in the army. في كلية حربية بتاع Sudan. ما ممكن انت في 40 سنة 40 years and you are major general into Liwa. It doesn't happen. So Kiir is violating his military rules. I know Kiir has never been in Kulia Harbia. He doesn't understand that. Yes, he doesn't understand that.
Let's give him a chance to respond, Moses.
Yes. So
Okay.
what we are saying here, we are not calling for violence. We are calling for protest so Kir can go. It has happened in Egypt. It has happened in so many countries. If people feel that this government is not serving us, is not working for our national interest, the people have the right to protest against the government and change the government. That's what we are saying here. So we are not coming to attack an individuals. We are attacking the whole system of the SPLM. Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, thank you, my brother Moses. So you have talked a lot. First of all, you said you served in the government for 2 years, if I can remember, 2 or
It's
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah,
But
okay.
but I'm just giving you an example because you want us to go back home and work. We are not just talking. We do go there and we have contributed.
Okay.
Where?
So in
Yeah,
which department? Before I speak, which department did you work?
I work in the National Ministry of Finance, and I
Yes.
was an inspector of budget. Why I'm telling you this. I'm trying to remind you that some positions have no job description, let
And
alone you talk about ethics.
Yeah.
You must have a job description.
You see, John, you see, John Core, where our problem starts. When you are in the government, you have no problem with Kir. But the moment you are relieved, that's when now you come telling the world those irregularities that were
I'm a
happening.
technocrat. I'm a technocrat. I'm a technocrat, my brother. I cannot reach. I was not even a director. So there is no way I can jump from director to undersecretary to deputy minister to minister and talk to Kir. There was no way.
So the same, there is no way, is the same, those other people that are doing those corruptions are blocking other people from reaching Kir. And I believe if Kir knows what goes on with those people who are promoted as general, those young people that get promoted as general, I believe if those things are reported to Kir.
Pannum. Can
Yeah.
my brother, let me ask you direct question.
Okay.
I'm not going to take your time. I'm not going to take your time.
Because I don't have my time.
Yeah, I'm not going to take your time, but let me ask you direct question.
Yeah.
You, if you know this thing is right, why would you think Innu Kir, there are some people actually are giving him a hard time and he cannot make a right decision? Now he knows the job. What I have to do, I have to care about the citizen. So why would you actually kalam into Ganta Guruda? It will discredit him. It will make him like nothing. Oh, actually people are around him are the one that driving him crazy. He's a human. He has a brain. He can think. Why would you think that this person cannot make a right decision?
So, in my opinion, Kir has been making the right decisions. The problems are the people that.
That's the same question I asked us now.
Pardon?
That's the people.
Why would if he's making right decision? Why would he then listening to these people who are distracting him?
So,
Go ahead.
I don't know. There's a lot of interruption here, but I just want to just make a. If you will give me time, I just want to.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll just finish my point because I have very little time. So, like I said, the problems are one. We have those people that when they get relieved, that's when we now knows what the bad thing that Kir is doing.
I never been relieved the way.
Number two.
Yeah.
Number two. At this current moment, if we were to go for election, I would still vote for Kir 100%. Reason, I have not seen any person that has come out with objectives that can convince me that if I vote for this person is courageous enough to bring this change. That's one. There's two. Three, like my brother said.
But that doesn't give you a right to support something wrong. If you haven't seen somebody with a solid program, it doesn't give you a right to support something wrong too. Go ahead.
Now, there's a reason. Okay, like now, when you interrupted, other things that I want to say they disappear. But I want to say that the reason why I'm saying that Kir is still making the right decision is that Kir is trying. He's trying his best. That to a point that even when he knows that if money comes, because we Junubin, we are bad at money, if we see them, we are going to disappear with them. So what he has done is that instead of bringing money, I'll give away the oil. And the reason what brought that decision is because of the issue of stealing money or looting public funds or finance. Imagine if that oil was refined and then sold, we would get even more money. But we have proven that we don't love South Sudan. We have proven that as South Sudanese that we don't love South Sudan. That whatever comes in, we don't want to give it to our brothers that fought for that country. Those who are still suffering. I know even myself, I went to South Sudan in 2017 and I saw how the army is suffering, right from Kapoita before I went to Juba. I know that. But what is making that? It's us. Even those generals who you see with this big belly, these generals are the ones that are not giving these soldiers money. And even Kiir made a complaint that I released food, but it's not reaching them. It's not Kiir, it's us. So it first starts with myself as a South Sudanese. What am I doing? Do I need to rely on something that I don't know where it comes from? Because we believe that Hukuma has money. Remember, John Garang once said that people believe that Hukuma has a heap of resources. That is our belief as South Sudanese. Secondly, again, we don't have the technocrats like to build our roads. So this one has to be brought from somewhere, and you know how expensive it is to import manpower. There's another challenge too. You see, and to change Kiir's government.
I would have answered that question, but it seems you're leaving, so I will let you continue.
Yeah, it's not hard to change Kiir's government. Kiir's government can be changed if someone that is courageous like you can go to South Sudan and tell them that this is what I believe that is right, and you can even get more support. But sitting here on Facebook, selling the image of South Sudan, and just talking like as you and I are.
Wait a minute. No, you know that
we never create.
You know, do you remember Aware? This is what we talk about. This is what we talk about today. How am I selling the image of South Sudan while I'm criticizing the government for the wrongdoing? What does that have to do with the country South Sudan? Do you know what is the difference between South Sudan as a country and the government? What does that have to do with the image of South Sudan as a country? Talking about President Kiir, Riek Machar.
You know,
what does that have to do with the country?
Can I say something?
You know, John Cor, I want to say that your criticism, I have seen so many on Facebook here. Yours is quite more positive. Let me recommend you for.
No, but you are saying that I am selling the image of the country. That's
you know your problem is that you are taking this issue personal. Even when I refer and others.
No, but this is something that you said. You said that, you know, I'm selling the image of the country while I'm talking about the president.
Okay, you are taking this issue too personal.
Policies as with the government, but because government come and go, but the country will not go anywhere. When you say the image of the country, what do you mean? Then explain to our viewers.
Okay. What I mean by selling the image of the country is that I have listened to other people who host live videos like Edward and other people. So if you get some reports from what people say that the government rapes, the government does this, the government does this. So the international community picked that, and that is what they believe South Sudan is. The investors cannot go there. But if you bring like a criticism that says that the president is not doing this, we need to change regime in this particular way. I think that is more of a better criticism. But when you talk of, it's not you. I'm saying if I use the word you, I don't mean that is John Cor. Otherwise, I'll just mention your name right away.
But Pannum, at the same time, yeah, you're right. But Pannum, at the same time, when people talk about rape, when
Yeah.
American were raped in Juba. You know that. You know that in incident,
In a
American
hotel.
listen, American women, they were raped in Juba. I know too, they were raped. So listen, when we talk
What proved that this was
South
SPLM soldiers, or these were the soldiers
let
sent
me
by
say this, our
American women?
so when people talk about incident, something
They
that
have admitted it.
something that
The
happened,
government
when
has
people talk
admitted
about it,
this.
He
when
admitted that these are my
you cannot
soldiers
do it, right?
and them.
If you want,
Just people that have their own personal issues that
but it happened in our country, and then we can talk about it, so can be corrected. But when you say that we should not talk about it, and then women can be raped, even foreign women can come and be raped. So what does that mean? It's going to sell bad image even. But when we talk about it, so this thing can go away. Don't you see it that way? So when we talk about it, we are the one that's selling it? But when we don't talk about it, we are complicit. We are part of crime. Don't you see that?
Can I add something?
How do you know that these were SPLM soldiers that raped, or these were the
Oh
other?
my God.
My friend,
Okay,
I was there during J1 war. I was there. I did not
So you
participate.
saw people raping.
The SPLA has arrested people. They have investigated people. They arrested those national security people. They admitted it in public. So it is not something that they are denying it.
I will not believe unless you play that saying that these were play that video saying that these were the
Okay.
SPLM soldiers that did the raping and not the IOs and not the other opposition.
Let-
So,
let-
anyway,
there
thank you
is
very
no
much. I will not even reach to
there is
where I
no
was about to talk about.
Listen, I
Yeah.
that time. So let me give Sister Aware, and she came back.
Yeah.
I think she had a point to make also.
Okay.
Aware, welcome back one more time. Let's give you an opportunity.
Thank you, brothers. It's really a fruitful, discussion, and I like, such things because I'm one of the people that believe in communication and talking. Because when people talk, when people sit and talk and discuss, it solves, the problems. So for my brother, Pandom, you said a lot of good things, and you seem to be knowledgeable about what is happening in our country. So I appreciate you for that. But going back, to the topic of the government and the citizen, as I said earlier, that I'm a supporter of the SPLM party, and I will support, to the point that when I reach my limit. But right now, I'm supporting the government. But supporting the government, it doesn't mean to play the role of being a propagandist, being, a cover up, for the things that are happening in our country that we know is wrong, and we choose, to be silent about it. That's not me. So the president, Salva Kiir, he's the commander in chief. And when you are being in the commander in chief, you are responsible of everything in the country. So when things go wrong, the consequences are not going to be put upon those who did them. The consequences are going to be put upon the leader, the commander in chief. Why? Why did it happen? And that's why you see in every company there is a manager, there is a CEO, there is supervisors, there are team leads. So there is a system that monitor the activities of human being, and the man above is monitoring. So if I made a mistake, if I made let's say I'm in the bottom and I made a mistake and I didn't follow the rules, and the man in charge or the commander in chief didn't hold me accountable for my behavior and the action, the other person would do it and everybody would do it, and there would be no system. Okay, so the reason we are blaming or complaining about the system in South Sudan is not that Salva Kiir did them, is because they were done under his leadership and he's not doing anything about it. So we as the citizen of South Sudan, we are not going to deny that these people, it's not Salva Kiir, because he's the man in charge. He has laws. Let's put, for example, the corruption. Those who looted, the public fund. Instead of our president, and I hope you guys saw the video when actually he admitted why his leadership failed. I think you guys saw it. The way he said that, he failed. I was embarrassed, because he took responsibility, but he let these people, steal the money, the public money. If I were him, if I was the man in charge, if I were the commander-in-chief, these people who looted the public fund, they should have brought to the system. Go back to the laws. What is the law say? What is the law say about somebody who stole the public money? If the law says that this person has to go to jail, it has to go to jail. But the problem of our president, he's being nice. He's being too nice, to the point that being nice is now being considered being weak, because, the people took advantage of him being nice. But the problem, when we go in the down the road in the history, the history is not going to judge him why he was not nice to the people of the South Sudan. He's going to be judged of why he didn't do the right thing, why he didn't stop, the looters, why he did not protect, the people of South Sudan, because he is the commander-in-chief. Okay, coming back to the image of the country, you said, talking in social media, it will damage the image of South Sudan. Yeah. We have a damaged image already. We have a damaged image. We are irresponsible people. We are corrupted people. We are, you can name it, bad things in South Sudan. So we have image, and for us to fix this image, it's not behind the curtain and put the mask. We will put the mask. It's not going to help us. We need to take the mask away and point out the wrong things that are going on in South Sudan and say, this is wrong and we need to fix it. And that's why we are talking. And talking will bring the solution. Because if we cover it, where are we going to say this? This is a platform for the South Sudanese. This is where we come with our ideas. And me, I don't shy coming, to the rebel show and say the things that I see is wrong. I can defend my government, but I'm not going to cover up, for the wrong things that, that are happening. Mm-hmm. And I will say and one of the good aspects of being human is to be true to yourself. Yes. Because if you are true to yourself, you will tell the truth, So we need to get out of this, mask that we put. Everything is okay when everything is not okay.
Yes.
Okay. So take away the mask and let's sit as South Sudanese. I'm not a fan of rebellion. I'm not a fan of us, fighting each other, because we had enough of killing. 2 wars that when, in 2013 and 2015, we got enough. I'm a mother. I have kids, and I don't want anybody to die. But I am a fan of people coming together, rebels. You name it, all the parties. Let's come and sit. Let's establish, a platform where we all can communicate and share our ideas, share our thoughts, so we can come up with a positive communication, positive effect of how we can push this country together. That's my point. So I just wanted to fix, what you said, what we are creating or we are damaging our image. We have a bad image, and we need to be true about that. We have a bad image, and it's the right time, for us to speak up. When you own your mistake, it doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong.
Yeah.
It makes you strong. So we need to own it. We fucked up, excuse my language.
Yeah.
We fucked up our country,
Mm-hmm.
And who's responsible? It's going to be Kir Mayar. It's not that he did them, but he's allowing them to happen in his watch. If I were him, 90%, if it will take me as a president, to put all the corrupted men and women in South Sudan to jail, I will build a big jail and put them there just to protect the interests of citizens. I will do that.
Since day one.
Yeah, he's being too nice, and that's what actually led to his to the failure of the leadership, because accountability is not there. He's not watchful of what these people are doing, and that's why now he's being caged. Salva Kiir Mayar is being caged by individuals who are, feeling comfortable around him, looting, the country. So they don't want actually Salva Kiir to come out, and that's why I said it's the right time. It's the time for this president to come out and save, this country, because these people, this gate that is built around him, is not helping the citizen. So he needs to come out. He needs, to listen to the people, listen directly, connect with the citizens, so you can hear from them. And that's what I'm saying. So thank you so much for a second time, brother.
Thank you, Aware, for coming back. to air that perspective is so amazing. Thank you so much. All right. Of course, yes. The idea that people can wrap up and be in bubble, like Sister Atong say, we are no longer being bubble. Just get out of this bubble, because it's not gonna do anything. And the idea that we need to be complicit, the image, yeah, Jama Fia tiny bad image. We want to vote secret, like we did it with the referendum. With Gul, no, Arfa Edak folk. Anything.
So they know who is against Kir, and then the unknown gunman will kill them.
You already show bad image. Actually, the thing that you fought for, you don't want it to do it. You want to cover it up. You fought for democracy. You fought for fairness. You fought for justice. You fought, to have tranquility and all this. But all of a sudden, when you are there in power, you say, no, I don't care about that. You know what? Then I will know who are you. Come on, man. And that's what we need to understand this. When people speak the truth, the truth. We have to say it. I know some people, they don't like that. They feel like, oh, well, our guy has been like this. People are going to talk and say, oh, our guy is a bad guy. Well, Jana Sakayar, when I saw this work to my brother, how long it take for a child, to talk, to walk. South Sudan, what kind of child is that cannot walk and talk? For how long?
15 years.
Cannot talk, cannot walk, because of the mistake of a few, and they don't want this child to walk. And then we can ask this child, maybe there is something wrong with it. We must take it to doctor to diagnose the issues. And we are part of that. We have a concern. We have to diagnose. We have to know something wrong with our child, and then it need to be fixed. What's wrong with it? Talking about it. That's not selling bad image to our country. Actually fixing it, because we want to be looked as a good people too. Other than just going to a hotel and then fighting over the money and knock somebody out. That's the bad image when people see that. That's the real bad image.
That's what is called bad image. Raping women in hotels.
Yeah, but what we are talking here, we are talking about, we need to build road. We need to build a school. We need hospital. We need security. So you can have your business without someone coming and intimidate you and say, I need 10%, I need 5%. And a general, we don't want general to be a businessman, okay, and be a member of parliament and be a general at the same time. No, and work in a hotel. What is that? That's the real bad image. And then when we are objectives, some people are there saying, Jonkor, when someone disagree with you, you don't like them. No, Ajama. We agree to disagree. I say this all the time. But we have to be reasonable, Go ahead, Moses. And if somebody else wanted to come, then I can give them chance. Now it's almost 2 a.m. here.
Yeah, I know. It's almost 9 p.m. in Australia.
It's almost 5 to...
Yeah. I will just say a few points and conclude it. My sister has said a lot, and I was just coming to say those few things that we, the people of South Sudan, are not being seen as citizens by the top leaders of SPLM. They see us as properties, as what we call the political, the liberation case. Liberation case is when the people, the political leaders who claim to be the liberators of the people, look at people as their own properties. They can kill you. They can sharaduk them, refugee. So you live in UNIMIS, you live in IDP scam or refugee scam, and those who are strong and they want to stay in the country are intimidated every day. And if you talk, you will be arrested. If you keep quiet, nothing is going to change. That's what they want.
Oh, they threaten me every day. If you kill me, what is going to happen? You kill another person in South Sudan, and that's it. And actually, when you eliminate people, you eliminate someone who will help you with ideas. That's what you are doing there. You are killing people who can help, actually, telling you this is wrong. So killing people is not a solution. You will kill me.
These are
brothers, and you kill other sisters, and
these are,
okay.
Those who threaten you and us, these are psychopaths. أولاد ناس كير ووزراء بيرسلوهم يمشي يجيب لهم بنات بالليل في أوتيلات. These useless people. We will never stop saying the truth. Whether you threaten people, we are not afraid. We will say the truth. We say that the government of Salva Kiir has failed. They are not respecting the right of the citizen of South Sudan. They think they are the god of South Sudan. They claim the credit that they have liberated the country. And anyone who wants to call for a change is dealt with. Imagine somebody like Dr. Luka Byung, he was talking in public in university, they kicked him out. Now, who is benefiting from such a behavior? Now, Luka Byung is teaching people in America instead of teaching our own citizens in South Sudan. And simply because of these Kir dogs, Kilabo Tom Delta, Albir Sulum Del, Yamashagalo Zodagari Kalam de la Akuma. And then they kick out a professor. I said they want illiterate people to be in the Tiger, people who don't know ABC. What they know only to count money that have been stolen and to marry 50 and 20 wives. Okay? Like the recent Tiger leader, well, he raped a young girl, 14 years girl, the girl went and asked him for a school fee. He took advantage of that young girl from Tweed. These are things happening, and Kiir was informed. He never talked about it. He never sacked the guy. He never do anything. So the crimes are being committed by those within J1. Those surrounding Kiir are the number one criminal, and they are the ones that are here to threaten you or others. They will go to jail, and when Kiir is gone, they have to choose where to go. They will not be there forever. I know it very well from my heart and from my mind. They cannot threaten everybody. They will go to prison. Some of them will die. And we will continue. Our people need to free themselves from being psychopaths. Kiir will never develop South Sudan. He is not ready for democracy. He is not ready for fair and free election. He just want to rule until he died in power. He is using tactics to bring in Egypt so he can be sponsored by Egypt to stay for another 10 years. So he can deal with Riek Machar, because now Ethiopia is in problem. So and Uganda is not in good relationship with them. So they need to be loyal to Egypt. And this is the problem with the government of Kiir. They are always loyal to the foreigners more than the citizens of South Sudan. So our citizens have been taken for granted by the top leaders of SPLM.
The link, Panchol, the link is down here actually. We already pinned the link. So if you want to participate, you just click on that link. There is no way I can send links separately. The link is down here below. Yeah, go ahead.
So I will leave you, Jonko, to conclude. But I'm telling our people, we are not the property. We are the citizen. Citizen, we have the duty of care to talk and to say this is wrong. The government is corrupted. They must go. They must go. We don't need to support Kiir or Riek Machar, because this group, they are all bunch of corrupted leaders. They know what is development, but they don't want to develop South Sudan. They know what is democracy, but they don't want democracy, especially President Kiir. He is a dictator by the whole definition of dictatorship. He's a dictator, and those who are around him, they want to keep him because they are using him.
Of course,
that's what we know. That's what we know. So tomorrow you go and claim medical claim in the finance, and you get 5 million that you are sick. Tomorrow you go back and say you are working.
You know, Moses,
these are public thieves.
Moses,
public thieves, they must go.
The interesting thing, people will say, "Oh, into Facebook politician, what you gonna do?" Anyway, you talk on Facebook. You know what? Liberation of ideas is better than liberation with gun. What we say here will actually help somebody who is going to do something not good, actually, right? Because we are teaching that person. Like my sister said, you know, you need to have that moral obligation, مسؤولية أخلاقية, moral courage. This is wrong. you should do the right thing. So actually, we are educating. Those who don't know, don't differentiate between Hakuma. You are selling bad image of the country. Talking about the bad system, talking about those who are looting, who are doing bad things. So it seemed to them, they don't understand what is the country, what is the image of the country, what is the party, what is the country. Maybe Arif, you know. And those are the problem. Yani Zul Jahil, the Dew, who are in charge. It doesn't differentiate. So what we do actually is better than Zol child gunning to shoot them.
Yeah, to kill people.
But we want, to just teach them so they can understand this is wrong. And other people who are sleeping, they will learn and they will have a good reputation. So those people actually, just they are wasting time on Facebook. I laugh on them.
They don't know what they are doing, John Kor. You are doing a great job.
They wouldn't even say that, oh, that they are wasting time. No, they know that actually. Even Kirzar said that in his own.
Yeah.
They are more effective. They should not be gun. Should not be gun until you will kill somebody or you will kill. Khalas, case closed. Lakin as well bitkallam kalam people will hear it. Another one bimji bishilu letana da, wada bimji bosi ledana, bghayir nas, lo kan fi nas bi'amal hajat batal bghayir. Why people go to school? They go to school to acquire skill and learn. And that's why you see difference between Zol Macha Madrasa and Zol Macha Madrasa. So this is good. We will not be discouraged. So go ahead so we can conclude.
Yeah, so I agree with you, John Kor, and I know your brain is bigger than their criticism because we know what we will face when we involve ourselves in such discussion. The Mahaja did it for people to threat us. It is not something new for me. I'm not afraid of any. We are here to criticize the bad political practices of the government of President Kiir. He's the top, he's the man in charge. All the crime that has been committed, he's the one responsible. So we are here to wake him up, to punish those who commit crimes, whether looting public money, whether raping girls in hotels, like the head of the Tiger now in Juba. Kiir should sack this man so people can know that Kiir is serious. But if the head of the Tiger division, the presidential guard, is raping young girls and is not being disciplined, not in the army, not in the court of law, what is that? What are you trying to tell us? So these are the things we bring them up. I know President was informed that the head of the presidential guard, Tiger, has raped a young girl, 15 years old girls, but he was not sacked. Such a person should be sacked. If you dismiss that person, next head of the presidential Tiger will be afraid to commit any crime. And there are so many corruption within the House of President that he has failed to correct things. And do you know why we talk about President Kiir? He's the leader. He's the president. He's the president. Do you want us to talk about the Zol Kafir, but Jewan Walawen, Asakir Del, to talk about them only without mentioning President Kiir? No, he's responsible. If there is something wrong or something good, the credit will go for him for something good, and the blame will go on him anytime. So I would like to thank you, Jonkor, and thanks the audience. Our people need awareness. What some of our young people and some of the psychopaths that support President Kiir don't know. What they don't know is their enemy. I would like to tell you, what you don't know is your enemy. If you comment down here and insult Jonkor or any one of us, what you don't know is your enemy. What we are talking about here is the future of the country. President Kiir has made us to regret our past liberation, and he has made us as South Sudanese to fear about our future. Thank you.
Thank you, Moses, for coming on. It's always, amazing with your analogy. I really appreciate you. And until here, I would thank all of you for tuning in. Sister Aware, you did a phenomenal job tonight. Please, I encourage you to continue and do this wonderful job, and encourage people of South Sudan to come out and speak for the best practices, because we are the people of decency. We fought for justice, liberty, and prosperity. We will continue doing this until people of South Sudan see the light at the end of the tunnel. Until then, thank you so much. We'll see you next week or tomorrow. Big topic coming on. We will evaluate the visit of Egyptian president to South Sudan. Of course, I said this from the beginning of the program, that actually a group of expert Egyptian are coming to South Sudan next week to do more assessment because they want to re-dig the Jonglei Canal. That's the purpose of the visit of the Egyptian president. You know, Jonglei Canal and dam in Ethiopia. These are the main, cause of that visit. And you're all aware that President Kiir is doing things behind the scene because he knows people of South Sudan are not going to be happy if they knew what he's doing with the Egyptian. Last week, we conducted a very credible, actually, interview with Ustaz Yan Matthew. And I posted in YouTube. Unfortunately, it was removed from YouTube. I bet Egyptians are the one that did that, with the YouTube. But today, I reposted again. They remove it because we talk details a lot. But we'll keep doing this because Egyptians, they found a safe haven in South Sudan. The reason Egyptians are getting closer because they don't want any developmental project to occur, on Nile Basin countries. They have been depending on, internal conflicts within these countries. South Sudan, of course, President Kiir, after he lost East Africa, because East African, they want South Sudan to be stable. Now he's moving toward North. That's why he signed that agreement, of military cooperation with Sudan in secret. You remember what Angelina Teny went to Khartoum? She signed that in secret. People of South Sudan don't know this, but by the way, اتفاقية, الدفاع المشترك with Sudan. Used to have it with Uganda, but now Uganda is fading away. And he seemed like, because the man is interested in power, he needs somebody to help him to remain in power in case if things goes wrong. And then he needs somebody to come in, a Metik can come in and just save him that power. So keep in mind, Egyptians are coming next week. Expert Egyptians are coming next week. Went to another Vijungula del Gandhi Kalam Kuliyom, Tui, Bor, Tui. Think about something bigger. That Egyptians are going to re-dig the Jonglei Canal. And that's going to dry the area. These are the things that we should focus on national issues. What President Kiir is doing with this to remain in power. On your expenses. Because people of South Sudan are the one that are going to pay the price later. But now, it seems like people are, they don't care about that. They don't care about that. Agut, of course, Pannum, he was in rush. He wanted to go. I did not remove him because he wanted to go. And he already said that several times that I wanted to go. He's in rush. And we let him go. He removed himself. I did not remove anyone. I am a guy that, don't feel threatened by other people's point of view. Regardless, I don't feel threatened by your point of views or anyone's point of view. That's what it means to be an open-minded. Yep, that's what it is. So thank you so much. But I want you to think about this. Egyptians are coming back. Okay? But our people always just talking about their communities. مشاكل بتعمل موجود. You don't need this. These are nonsense. We are same people. We are one people. Our enemy is there in J1. These are the ones that hailing us from the developmental project, from the dream, right? That we can have a viable state. You couldn't do security. You couldn't do justice. You couldn't do autonomy. Those who just want to be there in power. Yet, if they were doing something, we wouldn't even complain. If they were constructing a road, if they were maintaining security, we wouldn't even, nobody that would talk. احنا دايرين يكون في امن في البلد، يكون في تنميه في البلد، يكون في زراعه في البلد، يكون في مستشفى، يكون في سكول. That's it. Right? security, panakim, panabun. Then that's it. These are the things that people of South Sudan need. These are the ones that we need. But they are not. They are using this money to enrich themselves. So thank you for watching. Soon, we will do the assessment of Egyptian president visit to South Sudan. Good night.